What's up guys, welcome back to another video, hope you're doing well today. We're back on some MX bikes and we're doing the second round of Hurren's Arena Cross series of tracks that he's doing here. And this time we're not drunk. I know, unfortunately, I do apologise as a lot of people seem to really enjoy that. But I thought it'd be good just to try one of these tracks out while sober and see how they ride and they play all together. And this is, I don't think I mentioned it at round one at all, but there's going to be 5 tracks altogether and they do each and every single one is going towards helping real privateers, helping like fund them. And that is a wall jump, that is not a double. And I'm actually on the Factory 250 today, which is a bike that I've not ridden in the video yet, I don't think. I know I've done the 450 and I've also done the Yamaha 144. So I'll be interested to see how this bike handles it. And oh my God, that whoop section seems to be a little bit harder than round one because you do not get much speed coming out of that corner. I will take note to try and swing a little bit wide. And really, really annoyingly, I've got to do this single player today. I mean, Charlie's not about anyway. Charlie's off at work. However, I tried loading up my server manager on bikes and it just wouldn't let me connect. I don't know if it's down or if my internet's taking a bit of a dump. I hope it's not my internet because I do need to upload this video after recording it. But yeah, shame. So it's just me, myself and I today. So we're going to spin a few laps and we're just going to talk randomly. And I want to kind of go over yesterday's video a little bit in regards to the constructive criticism video that I'd done for the outdoors tracks. And I feel like some people might have missed the point of the video entirely. Some people gave, again, really good constructive criticism and I enjoyed going through and reading everything. But some people just went along the line of, like, the tracks are more one-to-one than the GPs. Another guy was just saying, like, stop complaining, this is your job. Other people went straight towards the bikes that we use at the moment instead. And sure, all of them are really valid points, but the whole premise of the video was to take a look at the AMA tracks that we have at the moment and suggest ways that they could be improved for racing in this game. That was literally it. I'm not sure where all of the other stuff has come from. And I think I fully agree with a bunch of people that the game itself has some wonky physics, and the OEM bikes that we ride right now also have wonky physics. But I don't think that should take all of the blame off of the tracks at the same time, you know? I always reference the GP tracks we've got right now because they're made in a way that works with the game, and I think that's what should be prioritised over, like, perfect one-to-one scaling. I quite enjoy one-to-one tracks. I've mentioned this a lot of times. I tend to quite prefer the slower, more technical side of things. But at this point in time of the game, whether it's down to the game itself or OEM bikes, it doesn't work very well. And I think in terms of a race series, it should be more focused on making the tracks work well with what we've got, you know, because the game's not going to change anytime soon, unfortunately, and I know that the OEM bikes are still a work in progress, and I really can't see them just dropping the OEM bikes all of a sudden and riding the factory bikes, which was something else that came up quite a few times as well. So I just wanted to kind of reiterate the point of that video was to go through some of the tracks that we've had so far this season and just suggest ways that they could be improved to. You know, it's not meant to come off as a like I know everything kind of thing. I'm just giving my view as a rider slash racer and consumer as well. I feel like as a consumer of a product you should be allowed to give your honest feedback, so I thought I'd put it out there. And this is only like a few comments that I saw that just really seemed to miss the mark and the point of it as a whole. But yeah, everyone, majority of people seem to agree with most points, threw up a point here and there that I hadn't considered, and I quite liked the open discussions. I would suggest maybe if you're going down the line of saying that I should not be complaining because I get to do this as a job, surely if there was aspects of your day-to-day job that you didn't enjoy, would you not say something as well to see if maybe your employer or something can do something to change that? I don't know. I just thought that was a bit of a weird route for some people to go down. But outside of that, I'm quite happy with how the video was received. I've been told that it has been forwarded on to Stone Rider and TFC. I haven't heard anything back at the point of recording this video, but I hope whichever way it goes that they're not upset with me for expressing my thoughts in like a long video format. I just think it's better doing it that way than trying to type things out over Discord, and I'm going to leave it at that. You know, I'm just going to move on, and we'll see how the tracks improve from the next few rounds. I don't know what round is next. I can't remember if it's Southwick or if it's Redbud or if we've got a week off entirely. I'll see what happens. See what happens see if there's a race on Friday or if we have a week off and then we're back after that. But enough of old tracks. We are currently playing a Mr. Hurren Supercross track, or Arena Cross track, I should say. And I actually forgot to turn the road on for this one, which is a bit of an L on my behalf. I'm pretty sure he's just going to be using the same, I don't actually know what program Hurren uses to make his tracks. So I'm not sure if there is a way of having like a template of jumps and whoops that he uses that he can copy and paste to just form various like rhythm sections. I actually have no idea. It all seems to be scaled very, very similarly, and I mean they all look fairly pretty as well. And I had so much fun recording that video with Charlie. Watching it back, there's some parts that I really find quite funny, and then other parts that just make me cringe so much. And it doesn't matter how many times I make videos on any game, how many videos I have to go back through and edit, and how many times I listen to my voice, I always still find it like a little bit cringy. I hate listening to myself, and I thought after a while I'd get used to it, but I still don't. And Charlie's of the same opinion. Like there was a period of time, I want to say, might have even been like a year ago, to be honest. It was way back when we was making videos on tracks like Freestone, the track where you had old Mr. Baggett sending himself God knows how far into the sand rollers. We done a video on that track, and he actually made a YouTube channel. You know, I helped him get like a logo for it and everything. He said he recorded a video, but then he just couldn't bear to listen to himself and edit it and put it together. And I feel like he should at some point. He's a very unfiltered man. He's very outspoken, like he doesn't hide anything from anybody. I have said that he probably would have to censor quite a lot of swear words, like keep them in but just add bleeps, because I think people still enjoy knowing that there was something bad said. And I think he could do pretty well in the content creation side of things. I think he's got a good personality for it. He has, however, informed me today, whilst we was playing some pro clubs on FIFA, again, unless like the tracks that are being put out really like show some good improvement, he's not like excited to play the game at all or to reinstall it. He has got it uninstalled for the time being, and he's on that sim grind. I also saw like Ryder is on a bit of a sim grind now as well, and it's quite refreshing seeing people that are really good at one game just trying to learn another and seeing like at what level they're at. I was very fortunate that I had all my hours in sim and then came over to bikes, because I think it's so much easier coming to bikes after playing sim than it is to going to sim after playing bikes. You know, I think you can transfer a lot of sim skills into this game, but you can't really transfer as many skills from this game over to sim, and they just work differently. It's strange, but I think how my weeks are looking these days is this is all outside of recording videos or the occasional live stream. In terms of playing games, I literally just play random games with Charlie or by myself, whichever the situation may be, on Monday, Tuesdays. I play a bit of sim on Wednesdays for the RF races, and then on Fridays I do a bit of bikes, and I just kind of do whatever I want in between. But every now and then I'll feel like, you know what, good day for some public lobbies, let's get them up and going. And I wanted to do a public lobby today, but just the way the day's gone, just didn't get round to it. My sleep schedule, my god, my sleep schedule has been god awful. It's been just gross. I've been going to sleep at, let's say, midnight, waking up at 4 or 5 a.m, and then staying awake until midday, and then falling asleep again till later on, and it just really puts a hindrance on any plans I may have had. So I do really need to try and get on top of it, but I really struggle staying awake throughout the entire day. I need to get into some sort of routine, and I've been cheating on the gym as well. I've not been to the gym in a couple of weeks. I really have been slacking, and I find myself, I get into these like slumps every now and then. It takes me a little while to kind of pull myself back out of it, but I know I'll get there. I always do. Just takes me a little bit of time here and there, but we'll find our way back into the light, back on the grind, and get looking good. Mr. Dad Shoes has been sending forward some rather spicy gym pictures, I will say. Can't lie, I might be getting a little bit bricked up, but definitely motivated. You know, makes me want to get back in there and just lift some heavy shit to make myself feel better. Oh god, I'm quite enjoying this bike so far. It feels nice. I've had no weird and wonky physics at all. I will notice that on the flat turns, doesn't turn like anywhere near as tight as I expected. I've heard nothing but like people saying how OP these factory bikes are and how much easier they are to go fast. There is some skill involved, you know, it's not like complete easy mode turn on. They definitely work well straight out the box with suspension, and the handling itself is good. I've had no random front tucks. Maybe that's kind of the trade-off. Maybe with it not turning as tight on flat ground as you'd like, that trade-off is that it stops the front end from tucking. That just could be a way around it, but I believe it's all to do with centre of gravity and where that's placed on the bike. And then I am no suspension technician at all, so I leave that up to the guys that actually know what all the numbers mean. Mason, what do the numbers mean? Oh, I need to go play some Black Ops Zombies again at some point. Someone commented on my stream the other day that I had the Plutonium launcher downloaded, and I think it's the only one that still works, if my memory is correct, out of all of the old COD launchers. After all of the cease and desists that were going out, which is a massive L on Activision's behalf, like big L. I enjoyed myself some Zombies. I need to download some other custom maps. There you go. There's a random comment for you guys. If you do play your fair share of Zombies, mostly speaking like Black Ops 3 side of things, and you have any specific custom maps that you think are really good, just throw the name down there and I can go and do that. Maybe I'll even do a zombie stream at some point. And that's something that I tried doing on Twitch quite a while ago that never done very well at all, because first of all my fan base wasn't on Twitch in the first place, and then I'm playing a game that isn't MX Bikes. I think I had like 6 people as a max, so it was very intimate for those 6 people, to be fair. A very personal stream. But probably won't be streaming over there again. One thing that has been piquing my interest recently is Kick. You know, I've seen all this hype about it, all this money that they're putting into it. I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm not sure how long term it is, because from like Twitch's perspective, they take a good chunk of money from the creators as is. You know, they take 50% of all revenue if you're not like one of the big guys, and they tried stopping people from having like sponsored videos from like third-party companies, etc. And apparently Twitch actually isn't that profitable, as in they don't turn over much of a profit overall. I'm sure that I'm not sure how true that is. That's something that I found on TikTok, and that's probably like trusting a meme that you saw on Facebook. Probably not the most reliable source of revenue in the world. But that leads to the question on, if they are taking this much money from the streamers and they're still not profitable, how is Kick going to be profitable when they're only taking 5% rather than 50%, and they're also planning to pay streamers hourly as well, not just through like normal ads? I don't know. But if there's any way that I can start dual streaming, I'm very tempted to do so. So I'll have it on YouTube as normal, then I'll also see if I can go and stream over on Kick. I feel like that could be quite good, a little way of diversifying things, and if you guys have a particular platform that you prefer using over the other, then that gives you the ability to do so. But yeah, in terms of Twitch, I'm probably not going to be on there ever again, to be honest, so it'll be YouTube or possibly Kick. And then one other thing that I wanted to throw out your guys' way, because I always feel like when we get this deep in the video, it's the people that are truly committed to watching videos all the way through, is been eyeing up the whole Patreon life. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube channels like where they kind of break down films and explain it. There's a few guys I watch, like Nerd Explains, Roanoke Gaming, Foundflix, etc. Big Will is another one that I've started watching recently, and a lot of them use Patreon as a way of having like uncensored videos, because YouTube is now super against having like any blood and gore, etc. And I imagine it's quite hard to break down a film that has those things in without showing any of it. So they use Patreon in that regards. But then I also know there's a bunch of other channels that just use it in general as a general support thing, like having videos accessible a day earlier than general subscribers, etc. And what I want to throw out there is, I'm not saying this is a done deal, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to make one. What are things that you think I could do to make a Patreon viable outside of just providing you guys a video a day early than everyone else? Or do you think that's enough and it should be more of like a supporting basis, similar to like channel memberships are? Just thought I'd throw that out there. Just looking at ways of diversifying a little bit, not really kind of like pushing any merch down anyone's throats these days, although it does still exist. You know, the link's always in the description if you want to go get a good old Linz logo in any colour you want on any sort of like jumper, shirt, whatever it is that you fancy. And I think there's also stickers in there as well, so just go and check those out. I mean, I can't remember the last time I remember seeing a sale, but it's just one of them things that if you don't push it and people aren't aware of it, then no one's even going to check it out. But yeah, that's always down in the description if you want to go and have a look and have an alternative way of just supporting the channel overall. And just want to say thank you as well. You know, like the live streams are still doing really, really good, even at this point of the season. You know, we're quite deep at this point, and usually the interest does kind of drop off, and especially after the roller coaster of a season that we've had so far. You know, it's a lot of people are not too satisfied right now, but you guys still come through strong each and every stream, so I am really, really appreciative of it. Thank you so much. Just noticing whilst I'm spinning laps here, I am on lap number 27 and not a single lap has counted in terms of timing, which isn't good. It's not great. I'm not sure if Hurren is aware of that or if I'm taking a line somewhere that's maybe messing me up. Not too sure. Like, I feel like I stayed on the track everywhere there. But yeah, that's just something to bring to attention. And the only, like, besides, I mean, two negatives that I have right now is the timing being the first one. And the second one is, again, just to do with the berms in the corners. You can kind of see where they start and end. I would just like to see it blended in just that little bit more. So like right here, you can see where the berm starts, and it'll give you a little bit of a kick if you're too far on the outside. I'm not sure how easy that is to blend in, but just something that I noticed on round 1 as well. So Hurren, if you are watching this deep in the video, not a dig or anything like that, just something that would be quite cool to get smoothened out for future rounds. And then other than that, I think Hurren tracks are always pretty looking. You know, I'm guessing, I say guessing, I don't know if this is a fully custom stadium, if it's one that's existed somewhere. I love the colour scheme. The colours make me think that it's fully custom from him. The sole reason being is it follows his like luminous yellow or fluo yellow and blackish kind of greyish theme that he seems to have on a lot of tracks and his logo, etc. So if this is all custom made, it's very, very impressive stuff. I couldn't even begin to think what it takes to put all this together. But yeah, that'll kind of do it for me. There's only so many laps you can spin of an arena cross track, I think, before everyone actually gets the idea of what the track looks like. And I just want to reiterate again, I think it's a really, really cool thing that he's doing, is like putting all of the money earned through these tracks out of his pocket and into the pockets of some of the privateer riders to help them out. I keep up with like Matt Bakeen's YouTube videos a little bit, and kind of seeing the travel and the behind the scenes stuff a bit. It's very impressive what those guys go through just to get to the racing week in and week out for not much of a reward, just like the love of the sport. You know, if you're not one of the top guys, it's probably not that viable long term without people helping you out and just sponsors in general. So massive shout out to Hurren for what he's doing. It's really, really cool and very refreshing to see in the community, trying to influence real life a little bit more and just be helpful overall. So double use to him. Very excited to try out the rest of the rounds, and I would love, there's only, I think there's 16 gates on the track in total, so the races would be a fair bit smaller, but I imagine if there was more gates than that, it would be pretty damn chaotic. I'd love to see a series on these tracks. I think they'd be really fun, something very, very different. Probably wouldn't like entertain the big bikes on it at all. I mean, even the 250 in some places around here seems to be a little bit overkill. I'd even go as far to say that 125s only would be quite cool. If there was not a ripped version of the 85 models in this game, rip alpha mods, then it'd even be cool having like an 85cc series on these tracks too. I think they'd handle it really well. Or maybe, ooh, we get like the Honda big ball bike, the 110. That'd be good around here. Like, that thing handles really, really well. That's got my brain whirring. It's got it moving. Who knows? You know what? I might make my own series at some point once all these 5 tracks are finished, finalised, and released. Keep an eye out. You might see Linz's first series overall. And for anyone also asking about the track progress, my track that I'm making, the answer's still the same. You're probably looking at about a month before it's all finished and finalised. I'm going to try and spend a good amount of time on the texturing side of things to get it to look okay. It's never going to look like Hurren or JV level. You know, those things are complete works of art, but I will try my very, very best to get it looking better than most first-time releases. That's what I want. I don't want the looks to be what lets it down overall. So I'm very happy with the height map. I'm happy with the scaling of the jumps and the ruts, etc. Their looks are very, very important. That's not a shallow thing to say at all, I don't think. Same with real life. You know, you're not gonna want to spend the rest of your life with someone who you don't find attractive. So looks do matter. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's true. It counts. And I think that'll do it from me. That's enough of me waffling on and on about random nonsense for this 20 minutes of the day. I am going to love you and leave you. I hope you've enjoyed the video as always. A like and subscribe if you're new would be very much appreciated. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you guys are up to, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.